In the town of Luton, located in Bedfordshire County, England, just 50 kilometers from London, lies a major hub for the UK's Pakistani community. On the night of May 23, 2016, the police received an emergency call. A panicked girl's voice on the phone said, "There's been a burglary at my house, and my sister is lying on the floor. The thieves have destroyed everything." Within minutes, the police arrived at the scene. As they entered, the sight made it clear that this was no ordinary burglary. In the middle of the drawing room lay a woman, 34-year-old Saima Khan. The walls were splattered, and the floor had turned into a nightmare. There was no movement, only an eerie silence. Nothing was scattered or out of place, and there were no clear signs of forced entry, except for a single broken window pane, suggesting someone might have forced their way in. Yet, the doors remained intact. Saima was married, a mother of 4, and worked as a caregiver. Her husband, Hafiz Rahman, and other family members were attending a relative's funeral that night, leaving only Saima's sister, Saba, and the children at home. The question wasn't just who committed the crime, but why. Was it really a burglar? Or was this a carefully planned act? As the police dug deeper, they noticed a pattern that weakened the burglary story, revealing a darker truth. But before we get to that truth, let's start from the beginning to understand every aspect clearly. I hope you're ready, because you're watching Dark Reality. Luton, a town in England, was home to a family that had migrated from Pakistan a few years earlier and settled there. Saima Khan was born in 1982, and 7 years later, in 1989, her younger sister, Saba Khan, came into the world. The family also included 2 brothers. The sisters spent their childhood in the Netherlands. When Saima was 18, the family decided to move to England and made Luton their new hometown. Deeply connected to their roots, the family blended traditional Pakistani values with a gradually adopted European mindset. Both Saima and Saba were fluent in Dutch, and after moving to England, they quickly became comfortable with English. Every family member was supportive and emotionally connected. Saima was known as a kind-hearted and emotional woman who loved helping others, which likely led her to pursue nursing studies. Saba, on the other hand, was more reserved, but very close to her sister, Saima. They shared everything. However, this strong sisterly bond began to fade, starting with Saima's marriage. After completing her nursing studies, Saima started working as a caregiver, visiting the homes of elderly or sick patients who needed medical assistance but couldn't go to a hospital. At 21, her parents began looking for a suitable match for her, following the family's belief that girls should settle down early. They contacted relatives in Pakistan, and a name came up: Hafiz Rahman. Hafiz, from a simple middle-class family in Pakistan, had never left the country, but was reportedly trying to obtain a British passport for a better life in the UK. After discussions and meetings, Saima and Hafiz's marriage was finalized. The wedding took place in Pakistan, and soon after, Hafiz moved to Luton to live with Saima and her family. After marriage, Saima's life changed. In 2012, she gave birth to her first child. Her life revolved around motherhood and her demanding job, balancing caregiving and family responsibilities. Meanwhile, a secret connection was brewing within the household, one that would change everything. By May 23, 2016, when the police arrived, the scene suggested the work of a strong individual. No one suspected a family member could be involved. Saba was sitting outside, pretending to be in shock, and initially the police considered her merely a witness. As the investigation progressed, they questioned Saba, but her story kept changing. At times, she claimed Saima was having an affair, implying the love
might be responsible. Other times, she said she only called Saima because her daughter was crying uncontrollably. The police listened carefully, but the simple story Saba told was far darker and more complex. Saima's initial account began to unravel within hours. She claimed she was putting the children to bed and then went to shower when someone attacked Saima. But as the investigation deepened, her statements were proven false, one by one. The police checked Saima's phone data, no affairs, no suspicious chats, no evidence to support Saima's claims. Then they examined Saima's phone records and messages, and the case took a dramatic turn. Dozens of messages sent by Saima to Hafiz revealed her dark deeds. A search of her room uncovered the weapon used in the crime, along with blood-stained clothes and the jewelry Saima claimed was stolen in the burglary. With no way to lie further, the truth emerged when Hafiz spoke to the police. Saima was having an affair with her own brother-in-law. This was the turning point where Saima's lies collapsed. Though it's unclear who initiated the affair, Hafiz claimed Saima started it, while Saima said she fell for his words. Both were equally involved in this toxic relationship. It was a betrayal not just of Saima, but of the entire family. When Saima was out working, Saima and Hafiz would be alone at home. When Saima was home, they'd find excuses to go out. For 4 years, this affair continued secretly without anyone suspecting. But how did it escalate to the crime, and why didn't Saima ever suspect anything? She blindly trusted her sister, and her world revolved around her children and responsibilities. During this time, Saima became pregnant. Hafiz told her to get an abortion, which she did, but this left her bitter and angry, feeling that Hafiz didn't truly love her and was just using her. This resentment grew, and Saima began to covet Saima's life, her home, her husband, everything that rightfully belonged to her sister. Meanwhile, Hafiz realized the affair, once his weakness, had become his biggest mistake. He wanted to distance himself from Saima, but she was obsessed, unwilling to let go. She bombarded him with calls and messages, repeatedly saying, "No one in this world can change my feelings. My love grows more intense every day." Hafiz even tried blocking her, but Saima refused to give up. Her frustration turned into a conviction that Saima was the root of all her problems. In her mind, if Saima were gone, everything would be fine. Police later found hundreds of messages on Saima's phone filled with insults, threats, and violent words directed at Saima. It became clear that Saima had been planning the crime for 3 months. She had researched criminal methods online and even paid a supposed black magician to carry out the act through black magic, only to be scammed. Meanwhile, Hafiz planned to move to a new flat in Luton on May 25, 2016, to start fresh with Saima and their children. When Saima learned of this, she broke down, realizing she had to act before Hafiz left or she'd lose him forever. On the night of May 23, 2016, everything changed. Saima, Hafiz, Saima's brothers, and their parents were out attending a relative's funeral, leaving only Saima and Saima's 4 children at home. As darkness fell, Saima put the children to bed upstairs. She then sent Saima a carefully crafted message. "Your daughter is crying a lot, and I can't handle her. Please come home quickly." The message conveyed urgency and emotion, prompting Saima to rush home. Saima was ready with equipment she had bought from a supermarket days earlier. When the doorbell rang, she turned off the lights to create confusion at the entrance. As soon as the door opened, she attacked Saima. For the next 8 minutes, driven by a frenzy, she continued the assault until the room fell silent. The floor, walls, and door was stained with blood.
Shockingly, during this, Saima's eldest daughter woke up and, standing at the top of the stairs, innocently asked, "Auntie, what are you doing? Are you killing a mouse?" Saima shouted back in anger, "Don't come downstairs." She felt no guilt, only rage. Her next focus was covering her tracks. She hid the blood-stained clothes and the weapon, broke a window to stage a burglary, and took Saima's jewelry to support her story. She then showered, changed clothes, and called the police and her parents as planned. When the case reached London's court, Saima Khan pleaded guilty. 2 days later, the court sentenced her to 22 years in prison without parole. Her lawyer argued for a reduced sentence, claiming she was young, educated, and remorseful, deserving another chance. But Justice Morris shut it down, stating this wasn't a result of momentary anger. It was a plan meticulously crafted over 3 months. After the verdict, Hafiz Rahman gave a brief statement to the media, which became the most emotional part of this story. "I had 4 beautiful children, but I've lost my entire family. Saima was everything. She did everything, fulfilled every role. If only I had understood this earlier." Though Hafiz realized this too late, after losing everything, this story should make you reflect. What did you take away from this? Please share in the comments, spread this video as much as possible, and check out the pinned comment. To stay connected, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon. If you can, give the video a like. Stay safe, stay careful. Bye.